There's one over here.
Such a good detective.
Right here.
Cat figures out.
The 2K Sports pregame show.
Welcome to 2K Sports. I'm your host, Ernie Johnson. Kenny the Jet Smith is here, and so is the Big Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. Tonight, we'll see the Charlotte Hornets playing against the Detroit Pistons. And guys, for the Pistons, they haven't competed at the level they'd like over the last week or so. Just one win in 5 games. Coming off a wild ride, Kenny, you've been involved in All-Star Weekend on a number of fronts. What did this break in the action mean to the players?
It's a good rest time, but you know what, Ernie? For me, at 1 year, it wasn't. Because I'm going to tell you, give me a stat and see if you guys know. Shaq, only guy in All-Star history to participate in the dunk contest and the three-point contest on the same night.
It got to be you.
Kenny Smith.
You're looking at him, brother. That's right.
That's
on
awesome.
the same
That's
night,
awesome.
man.
That was the
You
easiest
talk about
answer we've
wearing
ever had.
yourself
Yeah,
out,
that's
boy,
awesome.
I was wearing it out. Now, if I'd have won both, that would have been different.
You know, for the players that are not there, this is time for them to get some rest. And for those who didn't attend, maybe you get some FOMO.
From FOMO.
I have no idea what it means.
Frequent, often, massage, and Oreos.
Anybody in our studio audience know what FOMO is?
I have no idea.
K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. With David Aldridge on our sideline, and here with me, Greg Anthony and Steve Smith, this is Kevin Harlan. They come in off a difficult stretch of home games, and a win here on the road would do a lot to get that confidence back.
You know, it's been a struggle on the road for this team, and they're beginning another road trip here tonight.
And nothing tips off a broadcast like getting the lowdown from the sidelines. And we've got David Aldridge there for that. David, good evening.
Well, guys, Stan Van Gundy has coached the likes of Alonzo Mourning, Shaquille O'Neal, and Dwight Howard. But he said, as a rebounder, Andre Drummond is as good as anybody, if not the best that I've ever been around. He just goes out and gets the ball. Drummond said it's just a will. The will to get the ball most people won't jump for. I just put myself out there. Kevin?
Thanks, D.A. And Drummond is just a hulk of a man. He's really the backbone of this team. And as we get into the meat of the NBA season, wear and tear starting to factor in for rotation players. Just how hard can playing 36 minutes a night, every game be in a body?
Yeah, you know, it's a lot of wear and tear, and a lot of times you get a chance to see it at the end of the season in the playoffs. So if you can keep some of these star players and all players around 36, 35, 34, and then let them play a little bit longer in playoffs, that's what you're trying to do as a coaching staff.
I'm looking back here. You played almost 40 minutes a game back in the late 90s. Wow.
That's why I'm sitting here right next to you right now, Kevin.
That's right. And now the opening lineup for Detroit. Ish Smith is out there with Reggie Bullock. Then there's Griffin. Then there's Andre Drummond. And it's Johnson in at the 3 spot.
And, you know, that's an example of how many plays we have in a game for which there's no stat. A monster dunk coming off just a terrific pick play.
Greg, you're right. It really did work to perfection. Gave him all the room he needed for the flush.
That's what happens when you get an excellent screen like that. He had plenty of space to slash right toward the basket.
Oh!
Yes! Yes!
Oh, he is a highlight reel unto himself, guys.
That could be a contender for the dunk of the year, I think. And that was Under Armour bringing you that replay. Unleash chaos. And what a play it was. Up again. And Drummond is right there.
The league leader in offensive rebounds on multiple occasions. Drummond doing it again.
Here's Walker. Lays it in without an inch of room around him.
You see the game plan is working already. 4 straight makes to start this one.
Batum brings the double team. Pistons passing it around. Griffin with it. And it's Howard picking him up. Drummond a screen. Pass to Bullock. 6 on the shot clock. Misses the 3. The Hornets have gone 4 of 4 to start, so a nice offensive rhythm to start here. Kid Gilchrist, and Griffin sends it back.
I love the defensive intensity from Blake Griffin on that play. After 4 straight makes, couldn't quite get that one to go down. Still a terrific start.
And Kid Gilchrist throws it down.
And the steal then right into the fast break. Great awareness.
Perfect read. Takes a chance, certainly pays off.
Detroit's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Inside, trying to go for an alley-oop, but excellent defense and anticipation there to stop it. Here's Williams, and it's slammed in by Williams.
And they are very comfortable running their offense through Walker. And you can see why. Drops a sick dime right there. That pass was right on the money.
Drummond sets the screen for Smith. Kid Gilchrist against Johnson. He feeds it to Drummond. Fires from deep. And Griffin scores. The assist by Drummond. Griffin's got himself on the board with 3 there.
Blake is okay with the catch-and-shoot jump shot, looking comfortable.
They grab their own miss, and that one is good.
And it's coming easy for them right now. 5 baskets in a row in the paint.
Smith drawn the double team. It's rebounded by Charlotte. They defeated the Wizards in their last one.
And on the road, their perimeter shooting really helped to kind of keep the crowd out of the game.
You know, I was surprised to see how comfortable they were in that environment. Shot a very high percentage from way beyond the arc.
Left side, Griffin. They double team Griffin. Johnson, wide open, he fires. That drops. And it comes off an assist from Griffin.
That's how you play the game. Draw 2 defenders, kick it out to the wide open man for a bucket.
Oh, taking it to the rack with power.
Hammering down the 2-hand slam. And here in the first quarter, with a little over 3.5 minutes played, Smith with it. He's picked up by Walker. Smith kicks to Griffin. And it's sent back by Howard.
And love seeing Howard rise up and reject shooters. Just a juggernaut on defense.
Here's Williams, and the slam by Williams.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
If you aren't going to at least step in front of him, you can't be surprised when he throws it down like that.
So he gets the whistle, contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
And when you look at Kid Gilchrist, and he is certainly known for his ability to defend and attack the rim. He's a terrific athlete, and he uses that athleticism on both sides of the floor, and just the prototype when you look at that hybrid forward position.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Roof shots.
And he makes the first. And you look at the size and game of Kid Gilchrist, he is the opposite of what most GMs look for in that 3 spot. But Greg, he makes it work.
Yeah, I mean, most teams want a tall 3 that can stretch the floor. Kid Gilchrist isn't that, but still gets playing time because he's effective when on the floor. If you play defense like he does, you're going to find a way to get on the floor.
For so long, the Hornets have been one of the most disciplined teams, Greg, in the NBA.
Yeah, you look at how this team takes care of the ball, and from the yes, methodical in their approach. They have absolutely owned this first quarter.
My opinion, it's been the commitment to pounding the ball inside. That's what's giving them the upper hand.
And the Pistons decide to take their first timeout right here. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing that last matchup with Boston.
You know, they worked hard, they drew fouls, but they just couldn't convert at the line.
And it's one of those things that can deflate your team. After all that effort, you want points.
just who is providing all the playmaking here tonight? Let's look at the breakdown between the front and back court for Charlotte.
And the bigs tonight have been the table setters in terms of their ability to pass the basketball. That's freed the guards to roam off the ball, and everyone's getting easier looks because of it.
Pistons trail by 11. Smith outside. Batum brings the double team. And they're on the break. And then Batum with the jam.
And when you build a big lead like this, especially early, you have to guard against the letdown.
Yeah, this is where it gets interesting. Do they start to coast, or do they go right for the juggler?
Griffin a screen on Walker. Smith drawn the double team. Over to the left wing. Bullock. That's in, coming off an assist from Johnson.
Yeah, the D with very little pressure on their perimeter shooters. 3 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have been from beyond.
And you see Howard still with some of the signature explosiveness there. Powerful drive.
To the wing right side. And the wide open shot from Griffin. And it's off from three-point range.
Their game plan needs to change if they're going to get out of this hole, because he is just not there offensively.
You heard a lot of legends saying Dwight Howard should dominate in the post. I think he still can on the defensive end, not so much on the offensive end.
You know, Steve, even at his peak, Dwight Howard probably dominated more with force than with finesse, perhaps.
You're so correct. He dominated with defense, rebounding, and finishing with power. That was enough to make him a superstar. He's never been the most skilled offensively. He hasn't needed to be.
No good on that one.
And the former first overall pick in the 04 draft, Howard has had a stellar career, a dominant force who continues to frustrate the opposition.
That's off as well, so he misses both. And so many great Pistons over the years. You think back to the bad boy era and all throughout the great history of this franchise. Smitty, you grew up in the era. Was there a Piston you modeled your game after growing up?
Yeah, there were. There were 2 guys, and Joe Dumars and Isaiah Thomas. You could see their impact both these players had on both ends of the floor. They were interchangeable. They both can handle, can shoot. And what I love is the chemistry they had between those 2, and they are good friends of mine.
Smith dishes to Griffin. Over Williams. The putback. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
Hard to keep Andre from doing this when he's motivated. One of the league's best at following up shots.
Howard drives in, and it's Howard finishing it off.
Yeah, I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones. And Smith gets double teamed. Here's Johnson. The Hornets pull it in. Williams has got his 4th rebound in this one.
They've been beating them to a lot of those loose balls and rebounds here to start.
While we have a quick chance here, let's now take a look at some point guards who have been dead on target from the floor over the course of the past 10 games. And you take a look at Smith, 4th in the league and as consistent as they come.
As a point guard, you want to create the best possible shot every trip down the floor. And given the way these guys have shot the ball, you know, it's not a bad idea every now and then for them to go it alone.
You're right. I don't care what position it is. With percentages like that, get them more shots.
And it's out of bounds. The Pistons able to retain possession here.
Taking a look at some stats for Walker. What a run he's been on over the past few weeks. Averaging about 27 points per, 5 assists, and 2 rebounds. And he's been putting up points with regularity. I mean, that's what they depend on, his killer instinct on offense.
Well, and we've seen defenses try to adjust, but he has the intelligence along with the talent, just finds new ways to beat them.
Batum brings the double team. Clock at 4. The 3 from Johnson. Another miss by Johnson. Here's Charlotte now. They're on a 17-7 run. Kid Gilchrist, no luck.
Uh-oh, he misses the bunny. I think he thought somebody was coming over to contest it.
From deep, Dwight Howard pulls it in. Charlotte leading by 16. And slam dunk by Kid Gilchrist.
I don't know if you can do it any better on both ends than they have tonight.
It's early, but they have taken full control of this game, and the fans here, they know it.
Johnson outside. Smith with a screen on Walker. On the wing, Johnson. 5 points in the game. The basket counts and one. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it a three-point play.
And they've come out with a take-no-prisoners approach on the glass here tonight, guys.
The Pistons shooting their first free throw of the game. Here's what Charlotte's going with right now. Zeller, he's checked in for Howard. Frank Kaminsky comes in for Marvin Williams. Monk's checked in for Kid Gilchrist. And Jeremy Lamb subbed in for Nicholas Batum.
One shot, find the lanes.
And Smitty, would you ever be interested in joining a team as a general manager or a personnel guy in a front office in the league?
I would, Kevin. I mean, I love everything about the game of basketball, and obviously played it, been in broadcasting. But a GM role is something I've always talked about, coaching, front office, whatever it may be. I'll be happy because I'm in the game of basketball. And then, Kevin, if I get that job, are you coming with me?
I'm always with you, by your side and ready to go. But let me ask you, when you were playing, Steve, did you consciously think, hey, someday I might be a coach, or I'd like to sit up in the stands and evaluate talent? Does it go through your mind in the throes in the middle of your career?
Yes, it does. And a lot of the guys, I would say my mentors, one was Lenny Wilkins. He did a fantastic job. Player coach at one time. I've talked a lot to him. My wife and Joe Dumar's wife are sisters, so me and Joe have a close relationship. Pat Riley, I pick the brains of the best, and hopefully one day I'll get that chance, and hopefully I'll make that move. But right now, I'm loving what I'm doing.
And the Bad Boy Pistons, perhaps the greatest group this franchise has put together, and also one of the most memorable in the history of the NBA. Smitty, you played against some of those guys. What was that like?
Well, first of all, Kevin, I got a chance to grow up in Detroit, watching these guys, being around them, being able to practice. I mean, they were a total tight group. They had some great characters in Lambeer and Rodman and Sally and Dumars and Isaiah and the microwave. But they played extremely hard, and obviously the style of play was defense, rebound, and put you on your butt.
Nelson, the pass to Ennis. Kaminsky with the double team. Here's Drummond. And the rebound goes to the Hornets. Their last encounter was in Detroit, where they were able to handle the Pistons.
And really brought an impressive physicality to that matchup, drawing a ton of fouls and, of course, went on to win it.
They forced the issue and made the defense hack them to death last game. I'm sure they'll try to mirror that same attack in this one.
Here's Walker, and he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up. And there's the foul against Detroit. First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
An 85% shooter there, and they've been able to count on him hitting his shots from the line.
Shooting 2.
That's good from Kemba Walker. And the Pistons making a change here. Moreland's checked in. Both shots good from the stripe. Pistons trailed by 21. And here's Nelson. He's averaging a bit over 5 points a game. He dishes it to Tolliver. The Pistons working the ball around now. Back to Nelson. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Galloway. Good. He hits the jump shot.
better to be lucky than good. Got that shot to fall.
Here's Walker. Here's Zeller. Makes it off the glass. Zeller's got his first points in this one.
And on the glass so far, it hadn't even been close.
Nelson kicks to Ennis. Pass to Galloway, to the middle. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
Yeah, and there it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great inside position.
It gets rebounded by Ennis. Pistons trailed by 19. And there's the call on Cody Zeller. That is his first foul of the game. Nelson with it. He's picked up by Walker. Moreland with the bucket.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
And out of bounds, the Pistons will take it. Already it's February. Let's see how the East is matching up. You take a look at the Pistons. Winding things down this season, they're in that all-important 9th position within striking distance of a playoff spot. And checking out Charlotte, 2.5 games back.
And right now for the Pistons, they've just lacked that one extra piece that could put them over the top this season. They haven't been able to kind of set themselves apart.
What they've done, they've kept themselves in the playoff picture, though. They haven't been spectacular, but they're still in the race. And we all know anything can happen in the postseason. A nice move, attacking in the paint with confidence.
Releases from 15. No good that time. The Pistons go the other way with it. 1:32 left in the first quarter. Galloway dishes to Nelson. Poked loose. A fast break now for Charlotte. The shot by Monk is no good. You know, Stephen, I think of Stan Van Gundy, I think of versatile, because we all know he's the head coach of the Detroit Pistons, but he's in charge of all their personnel moves, too. This guy's got a lot on his plate.
Yeah, he does. I mean, when you start to look at it, he's wearing two hats. And one thing, he's doing a good job trying to run his organization from a management standpoint and also from a coach's standpoint. So far, so good for Stan.
We've got 1:08 left here in the first quarter. Now here's Ennis. Not a lot of room. Nelson against Walker. And the whistle blows on the backcourt violation. He went over and back. Well, from long range, we've got a set of point guards here that have been extremely hot. Those are their three-point percentages for the last 10 games. The 4th spot held by Kemba Walker.
You know, if there are no other options available, any of these guys can just step back and knock down a triple. Great backup plan for any point guard to have.
It is. The ball is in their hands, and these guys feel comfortable stepping back behind that line and knocking it down.
Shot from the inbound. He takes it up and lays it in. Walker's got 10 points.
Already, they've piled up 8 second chance points.
There's the double team with Walker. Back to Galloway. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Bikes. It's deflected, and he recovers it. Charlotte leading by 17. Here's Kaminsky. The offensive rebound. Count that one.
Yeah, second chance points, a huge issue right now. They're getting steamrolled inside.
Ball's knocked loose. For the finish. And the dunk by Zeller.
And I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen tonight. Just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively, turning into easy points.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And, Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
When your defense translates into offense, it's a beautiful thing.
And the buzzer sounds to end the first, and we've got a blowout underway here. The Hornets on top, just dominating this one. And the second quarter will get underway just after this short break. And before the game, we heard from Kemba Walker. He talked about his mentality when he steps out onto the floor.
Play free. Just play like you're playing street ball. Just have fun. Just play the game that you've been playing, forever.
Infectious enthusiasm. You see it every time he steps on the floor. Welcome back, folks. We'll see if we're in store for a more tightly contested quarter as we move here into the second. Looking at what we've seen from the Hornets, pretty much in control here, it would appear.
I tell you, on fire all period long. And this is how you want to start the game.
They built up a monster lead on the heels of great shooting. Love the attack mindset here.
And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. On the floor for Detroit, they've got Kennard. He's out there with Anthony Tolliver. And it's Galloway in at the 2 spot. Rebounded by Lamb. Hornets leading by 21. Here's Graham.
Oh, wow.
Watch your head.
That's a beautiful jam.
Oh, he is a highlight reel unto himself, guys.
That could be a contender for the dunk of the year, I think. The Pistons have gone 1 of 3 to start out the second quarter. Passes to Kennard. 3-pointer. Rebounded by Lamb.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts. And this is the tempo you love to watch. I mean, get out fast before the defense can get set.
They set the screen to the inside. Tolliver with the bucket.
He turned on the Jets. As soon as he got that screen, they went right to the hole. Great decision-making there.
Kaminsky misses. For Detroit, they've gone 2 of 5 from the field here in the second quarter, shooting 40%. Galloway, the pass to Bikes. Here's Kennard. Here's Bikes. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Rebounded by Kaminsky. Charlotte shooting the ball with incredible accuracy. 68% so far. They grab their own miss. Graham. Here's Zeller. And at last, they get one to fall. Zeller's got 10 points in the game. Bikes kicks to Tolliver. Dishes it to Moreland. And that one is hammered home.
Oh, and how about squeezing the orange as tight as he could there before the stuff?
Yeah, no way he's going to lose that thing on the way up. Here's Graham. Off on the layup.
You can't ask for a higher percentage look than the one that he got. I think he lost his concentration.
And Bikes gets it to go.
You look at that lead pass there. He just has such a great feel for the game.
Kaminsky, it's good for his 4th bucket of the night. He's shooting 4 of 8.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over. Well, the NBA, we know, has incredible competition. And more times than not, it's more serious than anything else, and you're so locked in. But, Steve, right, there are moments of levity that everybody can kind of laugh at, correct?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I think the one thing is having a teammate go to that free throw line, shooting an air ball, and him glancing over there at the bench. And, nobody wants to laugh at times. But depending on the game, you just bust out laughing, and then he goes up there and shoots it really hard to make sure he doesn't have an air ball. And then the one when you're passing the basketball and the teammate is not looking and you catch it right in the choppers. That's the one everybody laughs about the most.
How about you personally? Any moment that either you were laughing or people were laughing at something that happened to you on the floor?
I had this one. We call it a flat tire, Kevin. I was led teammate Brevin Knight threw it out, and I couldn't stop. And my legs wobbled. I fell. I caught it and went out of bounds. That's the one I think for me was the funniest. It just wasn't funny when it happened.
And look, you never want to see a team gut you this way. Really a good timeout.
Some of this is just a matter of toughness, a willingness to play physical inside, something we're not seeing.
So an almost entirely new group in now for Charlotte. Dwight Howard, he's checked in for Zeller. Williams comes in for Kaminsky. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist is checked in for Lamb, and it's Batum in for Monk.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
Over to the wing. Howard in the post. Griffin's there. And the basket is good. 6 points for Dwight Howard.
They're doing a really good job of getting the ball inside and attacking the paint. That's an area they have completely dominated.
Here's Griffin, and he uses the glass on the layup.
Blake has a lot of different moves inside the paint, and you can see right there that was a nice finish by Blake.
They get it back. Kidd-Gilchrist, no luck. The Pistons have gotten exactly half their shots to go down here in the second, 5 of 10. Picked by Griffin. Here's Bikes, and it's good. He planted his feet on the pick and shielded the defender off.
And defensively, you've got to make a greater effort working over the screens.
Yeah, he could have made a better choice. He left him an easy one. Let's see how he plays the next screen.
For Detroit, they've gone 6 of 11 from the floor. Over 50% shooting here in the second quarter. Feeds to Bullock, launches it. That shot off the mark. And Charlotte will go the other way with it. They'll be playing host to Chicago for their next game. That'll be the latter half of this 2-game homestand.
He can't find his mojo. Tough quarter for him scoring the basketball.
The 3-ball falls through. He's now made 2 of 4.
I mean, just a good shooter taking what the defense allows. Finds some space out beyond the arc. Skying high, one of his advantages as a undersized 4.
The Pistons have gone 7 of 13 from the field since the start of the second. Here's Kennard. Graham defending. Tolliver for 3. Here's Bullock. Fast break now for Charlotte. Batum leading the charge.
And on the defensive side, just a failure to match up.
Well, the one thing you want to take away is anything at the rim. Just too easy.
Here's Bikes. And looking at his production, he averages a little more than 7 points a game. And it's Bullock missing. For Charlotte, they've gone 8 of 16 from the field in the second quarter, a nice efficient 50%. Detroit's gotten into trouble with the 3-ball in the second quarter, only hitting 1 of 5 attempts. Shot from 16. Dwight Howard grabs the board. Howard's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Kidd-Gilchrist, no luck.
And the stroke definitely lacking confidence this quarter. Nothing on target.
Bullock. The Hornets pull it in. Howard's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Williams attacking. And that comes off the assist by Dwight Howard. Howard's got 3 assists in the game.
Howard often thinking about his offense. Nice look there to create for a teammate.
Here's Bikes, defended by Batum. Bikes kicks to Tolliver. Here's Griffin. Again, the miss by the Pistons.
He hit 1 3 in the first, but the well has been totally dry for him in the second. Yeah, get out of the way. And Howard just rumbling to the rim.
Here's Bikes. Outside Griffin. They need this, and he slams it down right on top of Marvin Williams.
Oh, my word. I shouldn't be amazed anymore when Griffin pulls off a dunk like that, but I always seem to be. The man has some unreal moves above the rim. And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
And as great as Nicholas Batum is, the one issue he's dealt with, Greg, his entire career is staying consistent during games.
And with his skill set, it is hard for Batum to be completely absent. He can play, though, too passively at times when you know what he's capable of. And he's at his best when he is active and aggressive.
Kicks it to Tolliver. Here's the three. Griffin controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
Early in this quarter, he's been aggressive and selective with his shots. Tremendous efficiency.
Good on the shot. Williams has got 16 points.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
Here's Bikes. He kicks it to Bullock. Williams comes with a double team. And the pass to Bullock. Beyond the arc. Rebounded by Howard. Howard's got 6 rebounds in the game. Here's Kid Gilchrist. Rebounded by the Pistons.
He is really forcing things now. Doesn't have to do it because his teammates are picking up the slack.
Batum brings the double team. Out to the wing. Griffin with it. And it's Howard picking him up. 4 on the shot clock. Nice D from Williams.
That was very tight defense. He tried to force the layup anyway. I think that was a questionable decision.
The second effort. And the shot falls short this time. The Pistons shooting in the second quarter around 42%. Here's Bikes. And it's out of bounds. And they say last touch by Griffin. And here's a look now at the shot chart showing the field goals attempted locations for Williams.
You know, I doubt they came into this game thinking they would be doing this much damage from mid-range, but you have to give them credit for being able to see what is available in their offense and then exploit the weakness of the D. To be successful in this league, you have to be flexible, and they've done a great job of that so far.
Here's Walker. He can't get it to go. Good D by Drummond. They've been a little too casual with the ball out there.
Yeah, but you can't force that square peg into the round hole. Oftentimes, you just got to make that first simple pass and get a rhythm from that.
The Hornets shooting in the second quarter right around 48%. Howard. Rebound by the Pistons. Drummond's got his 4th rebound in this one. And there's the call on Howard. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game.
2nd foul. You don't want to pick up his 3rd in this half. We'll see if they'll make a substitution or not.
Jeremy Lamb's checked in for the Hornets. And so it's Detroit with the ball. Nice ball movement by Detroit. Kid Gilchrist with the steal. Here's the break. And it's Dwight Howard with the finish.
And how about Howard trucking it down the floor there? Got to be exciting to see him finish in the open floor if you're a teammate.
And, well, Detroit shooting for the game at 42%. Ennis with the ball. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. A nice shot by Griffin.
He might not have the long-range ability of some other guys, but he will knock down open ones.
Whoa!
Good. Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, here he comes, and there he goes.
Look at him punish that rim. To the paint, and the slam by Blake Griffin.
Griffin is one of the best scorers in the game, so now you see him going well. Get him the basketball.
That'll be a 5-second call.
And a quick check of the stats for Drummond. He's been fantastic over the last 10 games or so, averaging 17 points per game, 18 rebounds, and over 2.5 blocks. What incredible numbers. He has been a beast.
You know what? Everything is coming so easy for him right now, operating on the highest level.
Here's what Charlotte's going with right now. Cody Zeller's checked in for Howard. Kaminsky comes in for Williams. And Monks subbed in for Michael Kidd-Gilchrist.
Big difference from the first quarter to the second. His shot looks completely in rhythm now.
Kaminsky misses.
And we haven't seen them be quite as aggressive driving the basketball, settling far too much for jumpers.
Nelson dishes to Griffin. And a miss there on the triple. The Hornets shooting around 60% on the night. Amazing work offensively so far. And the basket by Kaminsky.
And how about Monk there scanning the floor for the open teammate? That's how you develop a trust from your teammates.
Ennis sets the screen for Nelson. Right side, Griffin. There's the three. The shot that time, not on target. And Charlotte will go the other way with it. Kaminsky, the pass to Zeller. And the dunk by Zeller.
You have to credit the pinpoint pass for making that play possible.
Zeller's gone 6 of 7 so far. Boy, he's making it look easy here, isn't he? Here's Griffin. Again, Griffin missing. The Hornets shooting it quite well, 52% from the field in the second quarter. The shot by Monk is no good. Johnson outside. Outside for Griffin. Knocked loose. Out of bounds. Charlotte takes possession. The Pistons making a change here. Moreland's checked in. .27 seconds left in the first half. Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession. Pistons shooting the ball at a 43% rate here in the second. Nelson against Walker. There's the feed to Ennis. Nelson kicks to Drummond. Good, and a nice assist from Nelson. And that's now 9 points for Drummond.
Even though Drummond has been extending his range, this is where he makes his living, in the painted area.
Out of bounds. Charlotte takes possession.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
Here's Walker. Sinks the 15-footer. Walker's got 12 points in the game.
And you could tell they had that play ready to go. Well done on the inbound.
And so it's Charlotte having no problems at all. Up 29 points heading into the next quarter. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks a lot. Dwight, what has been the key to performing with so much energy tonight?
Well, I've been trying to do my best to get in the best shape I can. This All-Star break, I did some work, just to get in better shape, and it's paying off a little bit.
Looks like it's working out so far. Thanks, Dwight. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks for the great interview, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of basketball following halftime.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And what an amazing performance the hometown fans are witnessing here tonight. Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, and Shaquille O'Neal. After the first 2 quarters of play, it's Charlotte in control. They are completely in control of the game, leading by a massive amount. Kenny?
Their ability to get into the paint and get to the rim has been deadly, constantly attacking the basket. It was clearly their intention right from the start to pound it inside as much as possible. And I don't see them straying from that strategy in the second half. It's going to be another paint-based attack.
And Shaq, what are your thoughts on Detroit?
Well, there's no wonder they're getting blown out. No energy, no fight in the rebound battle. Ernie, you got to pick it up. You got to pick it up starting now, or it's going to be impossible to come back. Like the Pythagorean theorem, times 50, times 100, times 50, times 10. Impossible to figure out, Ernie.
And time now to send you back down to the floor with Kevin Harlan. We'll see you later.
Well, we're getting back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if that changes here in the third. You look at Blake Griffin in this game. He's been everywhere.
Unbelievable the way he dominated that offensive glass in those first 2 quarters. Just a great effort for him for the entire half.
He bullied his way inside for a ton of rebounds, and until they get a body on him, he's just going to keep coming at him.
Welcome back, everyone, to the start of the second half. Big margin on our hands, but we'll see if that gap narrows down in the third and fourth quarters. Walker and Batum teaming up in the backcourt. Inside, Williams at the 4, Howard in the middle. And it's Kid Gilchrist in at the 3 spot. So that's the lineup for Charlotte. Johnson outside. Drummond sets the screen for Johnson. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. And Stanley Johnson, the youngster out of Arizona, grew up in Los Angeles where he was the high school player of the year. You know, Steve, he hasn't had the easiest time adjusting to the NBA, but he certainly has room to improve, and right now the offense just isn't there for him.
You know, the question is, people are saying, is time ticking away for Stanley to prove that he's a rotation player? He's kind of predictable on offense. People pushes him to go right because he only goes right. Just hasn't developed the way the team was hoping for.
And he knocks down the first one. He doesn't get the second one. Well, Smitty, we're in an era where there are just a handful of absolutely unreal scorers in the league, but if you had to pick one who makes it look the easiest or the best, who's your pick?
You're right. You have so many guys, Harden, Durant, Westbrook. But the one guy I think it makes it look the easiest, I would probably have to say Klay Thompson, because he doesn't need anything but to catch and shoot. And he's getting not just 20s and 30s, but he can go off for 60, 50s and 60s. That's the guy that makes it look the easiest.
Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines.
Guys, with the Hornets' length and mobility at the 2 through 4 positions, the team switches a lot defensively. Coach Steve Clifford said, you have to deal with mismatches at times, but it makes defense simpler. With those guys, they're all big enough, strong enough, and competitive enough that they're going to battle. Kevin?
And having that kind of versatility on defense is huge. D.A., thank you so much.
Well, they've been better than good on the glass today, and there is a glaring discrepancy between these two teams in that area.
Bullock dishes to Smith. Batum with the steal. And now here's Batum, the fast break opportunity. Here's Kid Gilchrist, and the layup's good off the glass. Kid Gilchrist has got 15 points.
Second chance opportunities, the great equalizer.
Lobbed up there for Drummond, and it goes out of bounds. That one is off.
Check out stats here for Dwight Howard. He's been dominant over the last month. 4th in rebounding, and he's also ranked in the top 10 in blocks per game. No trespassing when he's in the lane.
And he's so explosive, so hungry. You really can't keep him off the glass when he wants to get there. That's why he's top 5 in rebounding. And for the Pistons, they're shooting 43% from the field. Bullock kicks to Griffin. And a miss there on the triple.
Trying to shoot his way out of this.
Yes.
And slams it home and gets some camera time on the end of it.
He did. He spent a while up on that rim, didn't he? And that replay sponsored by Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment, giving us an excellent perspective on the play.
They can't buy one right now. 0 for 4 already to start the third.
Williams, that's good.
And not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
Looking to end the drought, and there's the nice layup by Griffin. Griffin's got 20 points.
Well, you need to start somewhere. After 4 straight misses this half, let's see if this gets them going.
Man, they just keep coming at you. Can they sustain this level of energy for the rest of the night?
Well, as they fuel this lead, looks like the guys are feeding off the success. That keeps them going.
Johnson outside. Back to Smith. Griffin sets the screen for Smith. 6 to shoot. Johnson outside. Drummond a screen. Johnson with it. He's picked up by Walker. And it's Drummond missing.
I'll tell you, the defense dodging a bullet right there. That's his shot.
And it's sent back by Drummond.
And you can see it in terms of protecting the rim. Drummond has the ability. He just needs to stay active on a consistent basis.
Here's Walker. He's got 14. And it's Howard finishing it off.
Oh, and how about squeezing the orange as tight as he could there before the stuff?
Yeah, no way he's going to lose that thing on the way up. Detroit's gotten off to a very slow start from three-point range in the second half. They're 0 for 4. Smith kicks to Griffin. No good on the three.
He started off solid, had 2 threes at halftime, but blanked from deep since.
It's good. Kid Gilchrist has got 17 now.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Griffin a screen on Walker. Smith kicks to Johnson. Nice ball movement by Detroit. Shot clock at 6. Shot from the top of the key. No good off the front iron. And here's Charlotte. They're on a 16-4 run right now. Here's Kid Gilchrist. That one goes. Count it. Kid Gilchrist has got 19 points.
That's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint.
Johnson for 3. Again, Johnson missing. They are in complete control.
This is the ultimate definition of the zone. Everything they've done has worked.
We take a second here to take a look at the shot chart for Detroit.
And the three-point game stands out as a major sore spot. It just has not been falling for him. I think at this point you start to get away from that shot. Try to engage in other parts of the offense. You don't want to hurt your team if that long ball isn't there.
He misses the free throw. Langston Galloway's checked in for Johnson. Good on the second free throw. The Pistons shooting 41% for the game. And Smith gets double-teamed. There's the dish to Galloway. Smith with it. He's picked up by Walker. Pass to Bullock. To halt the run. Here's Drummond, and it's sent back by Howard. Griffin with the steal. Now here is Smith. Looking for his first basket still in this one. Williams against Griffin. To the middle, Smith. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
You know, last season was a strong one for Ish Smith. He filled in as a starter, and he came off the bench. More of a scoring point guard, but he did a nice job of setting the table for everybody.
And with Ish Smith, he filled in for Reggie Jackson a lot as a starter last season, and he was terrific. He showed that he can be effective in whatever role you need him. Stan Van Gundy had high praise for him.
Yeah, and what I like about him is that he'll give you production if you play in 5 minutes or 30 minutes. He never loses focus or disappears in a game.
Free throw drop for Smith.
You know, the way he plays the game, he's always in attack. This is the one area I think he definitely has to improve on in his career. Ish Smith is knocking down free throws.
And the Hornets making a change here. Graham's checked in, and then for Detroit, Anthony Tolliver. He's checked in for Drummond, and it's Kennard in for Reggie Bullock. He's perfect from the line this time. Here's the Hornets with the ball. They're on a 19-6 run. Here's Walker. Nice D from Griffin. And here are the Pistons. Pass to Galloway. There's the double team with Walker. Tipped away. Out of bounds. Charlotte takes possession. What a recent stretch it's been for these players. They're the NBA's leading scorers over the last 10 games. The 4th spot held by Kemba Walker.
Quite a role he's been on. I mean, a pure scoring display. Eventually, teams might find an answer for him, but that's not been the case here lately.
And finished off by Graham.
And guys, you don't think this fella can do some major damage if he gets an opening to the rim.
G8, they just learned that lesson the hard way. They better put a little bit more effort into their D the next time down.
But the defense has to feel real embarrassed right now. They totally got schooled on that highlight reel play.
Some changes for Charlotte. Cody Zeller's checked in for Howard. And it's Lamb in there for Marvin Williams. Smith on the wing. Back to Galloway. Smith outside. Shot clock at 5. In the corner, it's Galloway. And the foul called on Blake Griffin. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Go the other way.
And the Hornets making a change here. Kaminsky's checked in. And the Pistons making a change here as well. Nelson's checked in. Charlotte shooting indicative of smooth offensive play. Up at 60%. They're a machine from the floor. Here's Graham using his post move to get the 2 points. Graham's got 4 points now in the quarter. Pistons shooting just 39% from the field, struggling to find that net. Nelson against Walker. Pulls it up. And again, it's the Pistons missing. And it's the Hornets ball. Here's Zeller. And the dunk by Zeller.
Just increasing their advantage. And right now, they're in a zone on both ends.
Yeah, this lead has snowballed. Credit their killer instinct for piling on.
Griffin passes to Nelson. Oh, Griffin in position. And then Griffin with the dunk.
Yet another way Griffin beats you. Great body control going up over the top.
And the basket by Kaminsky. Kaminsky's got 12 in the game.
Yeah, 3 consecutive field goals have come right at the rim. The D had better start buckling now.
Nelson dishes to Tolliver. Nelson outside. Here's Galloway. Good, and a nice assist from Nelson. Nelson's got his 5th assist in this one.
How can you forget about him? I mean, he's not going to miss that open of a look. Oh, they own the interior right now. 10 straight points coming from inside.
Passes it to Kennard. To the paint. And Nelson gets it to go.
Attacking on the interior, I like that attitude.
Kaminsky kicks to Graham. Kennard with the rebound. And for the Pistons, they're shooting 31% here in the third. Offensively, they are looking bleak. And another 3 for Detroit.
Yeah, that's a great shot. Third 3 of the game for him, first in this half.
Zeller passes to Kaminsky. That counts. He's put up 13 shots, and he's had 8 of those go in.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And finished off by Kaminsky.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And, Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
When your defense translates into offense, it's a beautiful thing.
And that one drops for him. 27 points for Blake Griffin.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas. Yeah, easy call.
A different look here for Detroit. Moreland's checked in, and it's James Ennison for Kennard. The Hornets have missed 4 of their 8 free throws up to this point. Things not really going their way at the line yet.
And in terms of team numbers, the free throw percentage is right at 74.
Two shots. Relax on the first.
First one falls for him. Monk's checked in for Charlotte. He hits both from the stripe. The Pistons shooting 43% from the floor. To the middle. Galloway kicks to Nelson. Back to Galloway. Nelson outside. Down low. Moreland with the bucket. Moreland's got 10 points in the game.
Textbook. Nice pass. Great catch. Even better finish.
And it's good for 2.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
To the left wing, here's Galloway. Detroit with a fresh 24. The shot by Moreland, no good. One item that stood out, their ball movement.
Things are definitely clicking, and more importantly, it makes it really hard to defend.
It's good on the putback.
Just giving up way too many transition opportunities.
Here's Nelson. Monk with a double team. Over to the left wing. Here's Galloway. Rebounded by Kaminsky. This has been a one-sided affair.
Yeah, they've done a nice job of extending their lead and maintaining that intensity level.
I tell you what, he's tenacious on the drive, isn't he? I mean, Monk constantly looking to get to the free throw line.
And maybe not as highly touted as some other guards that went before him, but Malik Monk can be scary on the floor. He can get hot like no other, and once he's dialed in, the points just seem to flow.
Shooting 2, gentlemen.
The first one falls. And Greg, as you said, Monk has that ability to take over with his shooting.
I mean, Monk looks to get going with his scoring at all times, and he's just got that shooter's mentality where all shots are good shots. That can be a positive and a negative, but I prefer he have that aggressive mentality when it comes to scoring the basketball. And Monk is an interesting player, a combo guard with fantastic scoring potential, quick on both ends of the floor.
Out of bounds. Charlotte takes possession. Well, the Hornets shooting fantastically in this game, 62% from the floor. Here's Kaminsky, and finished off by Kaminsky.
You gotta love his aggressiveness to finish inside.
Well, his leaping ability gives him a great advantage. Ennis with the ball. He's picked up by Lamb. Here's the floater, and the nice bucket inside from Ennis.
The beauty of the teardrop, very difficult to really contest.
Kaminsky dishes to Zeller. Charlotte moving the ball around. Ball stolen. Nelson against Walker. Nelson kicks to Tolliver. Good, and a nice assist from Nelson. Tolliver's got 6 points. Here's Charlotte. Here's Kaminsky, and finished off by Kaminsky.
And guys, he's not an easy man to stop when he's got the rim in his sights.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher. Now here's Ennis, covered by Lamb. Tolliver for 3. Kemba Walker comes up with the loose ball. Walker's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Here's Zeller, and terrific work on the offensive glass, and he picks up 2. He's got 18.
He's been so consistent scoring the basketball. It has helped him tack on to this lead.
Nelson against Walker. Knocked away. Here's the screen. Nelson kicks to Galloway. Here's Zeller, and the dunk by Zeller.
And he wasn't about to do anything that would get him in trouble there.
Nope, up and in with a one-hand finish, the most basic possible. And so it's Charlotte holding an unbelievable lead as the quarter wraps up. They've had active hands and have forced a lot of turnovers in this one. We come back right after this. Let's listen in now to head coach Stan Van Gundy from a few moments ago.
You're going to have to help and close, not just stand near. Everybody's just trying to keep their guy from scoring. Come on now, we got to be better than this, guys.
And pleading for better help defensively, Stan Van Gundy telling his guys that that almost is not just going to cut it in a game like this.
Yeah, I mean, they've been lacking in terms of aggressiveness on that end, and as a result, the stops just haven't been there.
Welcome back as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. Not exactly a nail-biter here, but you never know. On the floor for Detroit, they've got Jameer Nelson. Also, Dwight Bikes out there. Ellenson is out there with Ennis. And it's Moreland in at the power forward position. And it's time for an injury report. Now for an update on Blake Griffin's injury, let's go to David Aldridge.
Hi, guys. The head athletic trainer for Detroit gave us some status update. After taking a look, he informed me that it doesn't look too bad.
Okay, Dave, thanks. Sounds like he won't be out for too long. Ellenson with a wide-open look. No good with the triple. Charlotte shooting an offensive execution has been beyond great there. 63% from the floor in this game.
Yeah, and in terms of accuracy, they are dominating the second half.
I like that they're trying to maximize the value of each possession, and you know their coach likes it.
Here's Hernan Gomez, and he takes the fantastic lead pass up strong for the slam.
And it's been about that execution offensively. I mean, they have been superb.
That's what's extending this lead. The right plays, right time, and good finishing.
He used that pick just right.
And since halftime, they have been locked and loaded from beyond.
Yeah, forcing defenders to come out and guard them, which could open up driving lanes if they want to take advantage of that.
You know what? Feed the beast. You got to look for him every trip down because he's been out of his mind this quarter.
There's the pick. Dishes to Moreland. To the paint. Here's Ellenson, and Ellenson throws it down.
These are the fundamentals we're always talking about. Excellent bounce pass.
Here's Hernan Gomez.
You like the extra pass. MCW using his height to see over the defense, and he finds the open man.
Here's Bikes. Carter Williams covering. Ennis kicks to Ellenson. Got a hand on it, and he gets it back. To the middle, clock at 6. The shot by Moreland, no good. For Charlotte, they've gotten absolutely red hot shooting the ball here in the fourth. A perfect 6 for 6.
Well, the pace, the big plays they're making, this is a statement run right here.
Hard to remember the last time they've missed. These guys are having fun right now.
Bikes kicks to Ennis. And over 2.5 minutes in the books here in the fourth. Nelson, no one around him. Offline with his 3. The Hornets have gone 7 of 7 from the field to start the final quarter. What an amazing start. Bacon gets the bucket.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Nelson outside. To the inside. Ennis. And Ennis slams it in.
I love the ball movement there. He put that on a silver platter. Just served him up.
Here's Carter Williams, and he uses the glass on the layup.
The size MCW gives you at a point guard position enables him to finish in the painted area with hands in his face.
Fourth quarter of play, and over 3.5 minutes have gone by. In the corner, it's Nelson. It's good. The assist that time for Ennis.
And that's the shot Nelson's always relied on, and it served him well. He works nonstop on the perimeter, finding the space he needs to get good looks from beyond.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
Pistons have gone 4 of 8 in this fourth quarter, shooting an even 50% from the field. Monk with a double team, out of bounds. Charlotte takes possession.
That's what happens when nothing goes your way. You start to lose focus, and it makes matters worse.
Charlotte making a switch here. Graham's checked in, and the Pistons making a change here as well. Stanley Johnson, he's checked in for Nelson. From the inbound, and the bucket is good from Carter Williams down low.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
That's going to be over and back. Not watching for the line that time.
That's 2 really unproductive trips in a row, ending in turnover.
Andre Drummond's checked in for Detroit. Here's Carter Williams. It gets rebounded by Ennis. Detroit's gotten off 4 3-pointers in the final quarter, and 2 of them have fallen. Here's Bikes. Back to Ennis. Johnson kicks to Bikes. 5 to shoot. Here's Ennis. Hornets with the rebound.
Yeah, the aggressive D inside leads to a missed opportunity there.
You know, he had terrific position, does a good job of affecting the shot without fouling.
You've got to be kidding me. I mean, that's a point guard playing like a power forward.
And he can do a little bit of everything out there.
He is not scared of anybody. He knows he can play amongst the big boys, and he showed it.
Here's Bikes. Carter Williams covering. It's stolen by Carter Williams. And the layup falls. Carter Williams has got 8 points in the quarter.
Nice pass there to set that basket up.
Now here's Ennis. Tight defense on him. Inside. Here's Moreland. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2. And the initial rules for the NBA include that 6 personal fouls is the magic number before you're done for the game. It's been this way since, who can remember. But do you think 6 is the right number, Steve, for fouls? Or would you like to see them raise or lower it?
I definitely wouldn't want to see them raise it. I think 7 will be too much. Maybe if they lower it, that's a possibility. But right now I think it's 6.
2.
Maybe 5, or maybe you can experiment during some preseason games or in summer league. But I think 6 should be the maximum.
The first free throw is good. So he makes 1 of 2 as the second one misses.
Yeah, I like that they haven't lost their aggressiveness here in the second despite being down.
This is what you admire about Carter Williams, the way he glides up the court in transition, knowing exactly where he needs to be.
Bikes kicks to Johnson. Johnson draws the double. It's stolen by Carter Williams. Jumps up, and Carter Williams slams it in.
Adjusting himself in the air, MCW showing the coordination and the tremendous reach.
For Detroit, they've gotten just under 45% of their attempts to drop in the fourth. 4 of 9. That's tipped. Not watching the line there. That'll be a backcourt violation.
Yeah, giving away possessions here and really giving away the game.
Frank Kaminsky, he's checked in for Zeller. Here's Carter Williams, and Carter Williams slams it in.
I like what MCW does in transition. The long strides, he eats up ground quickly.
Detroit's gotten off 4 3-pointers in the final quarter, and 2 of them have fallen. Here's Hernan Gomez, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. On the last half-decade or so, the NBA, Steve, has realized the true value of the corner 3, and now offenses all over the league are designed to take advantage of it. Part of that is because it's just closer to the rim than any other three-pointer.
Yeah, you're right, and you should. I mean, when you have a three-point arc, yes, the corner threes are going to be shorter, and it's harder from a guy to shoot it from straight on. But when you have a guy that can shoot it straight on, you can see the dynamics of a team defensively. It's hard to cover. But I don't think the NBA should widen the court because of the value of the corner 3. That's a part of the game.
Should the lane be widened? Should we talk about the court and making all the threes the same length? What about the lane?
Well, I think you can widen the lane if you change the defensive rules, because right now you're allowed to play zone. If you went back to man, yes, I think you should widen it. But teams are allowed to play zone. I think the value of keeping it the same helps the defense a little bit more.
And he's good on the second. And, well, Detroit shooting 44% in the fourth. The offense with some ups and downs. Here's Bikes. Carter Williams covering. Bikes, the pass to Ennis. To the wing on the left. 6 to shoot. They get it again. Here's Drummond. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Hard not to bite on Drummond's pump fake. You have to get up quick to have any chance to contest his shot.
Two shots.
Free throw, good. Drummond. For several years, you've looked at Andre Drummond, and the first word that comes to mind is potential. He is still learning, still developing, certainly, but, you know, you wonder, Steve, if he's starting to approach the type of player he's going to be in Plateau.
You know, let's be clear. He's a great player, but people might have overshot what he could have been. Needs to play with a bit more urgency, but he's still young, and he can make another leap in his play. Do you see the frame on Andre Drummond? Easy for me to see why he can shed off so many defenders inside. He's incredibly strong, hard to stop when he gets near the rim.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
He just can't get it cranked up and beyond the arc. No threes in this half after just hitting 1 in the first.
Here's Graham. Detroit with the rebound. Moreland's got 5 rebounds tonight. And the strength of Andre Drummond, you talked about it, Steve. It's not just upper body, but lower body as well. He can open up a lot of space if he gets the ball down low.
You know, once he gets it in the paint, there's nothing you can do. His footwork off the block is coming along well. It's a process for him to refine his moves.
And there's the whistle. That goes on Frank Kaminsky. That's his first foul. The Pistons have gone 5 of 12 from the field entering the fourth quarter. Feeds it to Bikes. No good from outside.
All the time in the world to get that one off.
Carter Williams with the bucket.
You know, MCW able to absorb contact much better these days than he has in the past.
Here's Bikes. He feeds it to Ennis. He dishes it to Bikes. They get a hand on it. And a fast break now for the Hornets. Here's Bacon. But they get it back.
And that's a good job of just getting after it on the backboard. Gets them another possession and allows them to run even more clock.
Bikes dishes to Moreland. To the middle. Here's Drummond. Whistle on the play. Bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
And you see the body control of Drummond, undeterred by some physical D. Now going to the line for one more.
Well, the league has long had a rookie orientation program. People rave about it. It continues to develop and evolve. More recently, Steve, they've created a program for players transitioning to retirement. This is an outstanding idea. What's important with that in your eyes?
I'm glad you brought that up, Kevin. I think the rookie orientation should even start earlier. I think it should start at the college level. Not saying that everybody's going to make it to the NBA, but it helps you what they give you just in a game of life. And then transitioning to retirement, I think it should be the first day you sign that NBA contract, the transitions to start, because it could end with an injury. And obviously we know even if you play a lengthy career, in 10 or 12 years it's over.
Like if you were going to talk to a young player and if the player said, Steve, give me one thing that I need to remember as I go through my career and then it ends, what's the one thing, piece of advice you would feed to a young player about what's going to be at the end of this journey?
Well, I think, first of all, there's a couple things, Kevin, and I have to answer. First, you got to keep your value system. Second, financially, you got to understand is make it simple as possible. You're not going to be able to live on the same type of salary for the rest of your life. So if you have a contract, say $20 million, in a simple way, divide that up for like 50 years because that's how much you're going to need to be able to live off on.
Keeps it alive, and Drummond is right there.
And that's a pure hustle play, getting to the offensive glass for the tip in.
And that's the kind of quality you see in any strong offensive rebounder, isn't it? And former Rookie of the Year award winner Michael Carter-Williams, their guard. Things have really been tough for him since winning that hardware as he has bounced from team to team. Steve trying to find a spot in the lineup.
Well, MCW, a large part of it, he just isn't a good shooter. He can use his size and his passing to create shots for others. Very good defensively. It ends up being a liability on the offensive end, and that's hurt him.
Two shots. Relax on the first.
That's good from Carter-Williams. Well, every so often a team will have a home game and see their stadium flooded with fans for the away team. Happens when a especially good, popular team is playing a team kind of in a bad part of their schedule or maybe just in a bad part of their development. Smitty, do players notice when this happens, and does it bother them at all?
Yeah, players notice it. It does bother you. It happened to me when in the Chicago Bulls era. You hear people cheering more for Michael Jordan than their own players. It's because people love to see winners. People have their favorite players, and a lot of people right now look at it as they want to come see their favorite player. As a player, you just got to go out, beat Michael Jordan, go out and win, and usually the fans will turn into your favor.
And a lot to like about that play, particularly how it ends.
Yeah, at the rack. That's what you want in transition, a high percentage look.
Michael Carter-Williams.
One shot. Behind the lanes.
And the free throw, no good.
Well, you know he's an inconsistent jump shooter. That's also carried over to the free throw line for Michael Carter-Williams.
Kicks it to Moreland. Drummond passes to Bikes. It's deflected. There's 1:54 left in the fourth quarter. Carter-Williams can't get it to go.
The defense fortunate there. He's a guy you hate to leave wide open.
Johnson kicks to Bikes. Out of bounds. Charlotte takes possession. 1:35 left in the fourth quarter. And he finishes it off with a one-handed jam.
And it's great to watch Monk share the ball. He's a more than capable passer when his mind is right.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for the Hornets.
A few times this season, turnovers have cost him, but they really kept the ball under control.
They were both focused and relentless.
And so the hard work and effort paying off tonight, putting another win in the books. That'll be win number 27.
And they've put themselves into the driver's seat in regards to the season series with this team. Tonight's win will give them a 2-1 edge with only one left to play.
And what a tremendous standout performance it was for Williams.
Timeout.
No, there's a few ways to control a game, right? You can do it with pace, you can do it with patience and efficiency. Tonight, he did it by owning the boards.
Charlotte calls timeout. A chance now to recognize our Jordan Player of the Game, Marvin Williams.
And in terms of his shooting, this has been one of the more accurate performances you'll ever see. I mean, he's been in constant motion, creating a lot of good looks for himself. But still, even when you're wide open, you expect to miss some of the time. That has not been the case here tonight. This guy has made everything.
He doesn't take over games like this very much, but it's always possible. And when he does, here at home, these fans love it. .59 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Out to the right wing. Shot clock at 6. Here's Ennis. The three-pointer, no good. They are in complete control.
This is the ultimate definition of the zone. Everything they've done has worked. And forcing the miss there, he just knows how to pressure you defensively.
And also protecting the rim at all costs. I love the anticipation to affect the shot.
Detroit, no good that time either.
He's trying to shoot his way out of this slump, but it's not to be.
Hernan Gomez passes to Carter Williams. 3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
And this is the kind of deficit it would take a miracle to overcome.
I think this hometown crowd agrees with you. They are fired up about it.
This one for 3. Sinks the three-pointer.
And just staying aggressive, continuing to extend that lead.
They left nothing to chance. This is how you close out.
So no problem for Charlotte as they get the win. They poured it on tonight. Dominant showing in front of a crowd that loved every minute of it.
And, you know, this game could really be a defining one for what they can do when they are playing at their best. I mean, being here at home no doubt helps, and the execution was flawless.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Kevin, thank you. Michael, the key to this game for the team tonight?
It was just a team effort. You know, we moved the ball on defense. We were trying to help everybody out and be in the right spots all the time, and we were able to come up with the win.
Part of a rebuilding team here, Michael. Thank you for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. And that about wraps it up. For David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and Steve Smith, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.